something strange is happening on the world's biggest dating app. Let me show you. Same guy, same guy, same guy, same guy, same guy. What is that? Here's another one. And another one. This all began when my friend started sending me weird profiles he kept coming across. Over and over, he'd see profiles that looked relatively normal. Normal interests, normal bios, and normal photos until the very last one. The last photo was always a little strange. A face that didn't match the rest of the profile, often poorly edited into another image or illustration. And my friend wasn't alone. I went digging and I only found one Reddit post and one Instagram reel about this, but the comment section was full of people who had seen these profiles too.
You keep clicking through and then it's just like a drawing, some random photo that doesn't make any sense.
Times Square with like the NASDAQ thing, an anime drawing of an Asian guy, a bobblehead drawing of like an Asian guy with a soccer ball.
The random line drawing, the random old master painting.
When this started happening, I was like, no one is gonna believe me that this is a thing.
So why do so many accounts on Tinder have a final photo that looks like this? I have not been on dating apps in a long time. So when I first saw this, I felt a little bit out of the loop, and I wondered if maybe this was just some kind of reference that I don't get, some kind of in-group signal that I am just not aware of. And I quickly learned I wasn't the only one who thought that.
It first started with a weird photo of like a billboard with an Asian man and a lamppost that obviously had nothing to do with the rest of the profile of the person it was attached to. And then I kept seeing it pop up over and over and over again.
Same photo each time.
Same photo. Yes, the same photo. When I saw it again, it's like, maybe this is some sort of like, club's not the right word for it, but maybe it's like a signal. Like, oh, this, if you see someone with this last photo, it means something. But like, I'm not hip enough to know what this like last photo means. It's like, is that some sort of signal, some sort of like weird sex thing? Like, what does it mean? And it's also always like stereotypically like hot European looking like model guys, right?
Could this final photo be signaling something to other people on Tinder? Something that Stephanie and I just weren't in the know about.
在我正后方的这一幅衣钵的超大的
A reverse image search reveals that this is Chinese actor Wang Yibo in an ad for a mini shaver. But take a closer look and you can notice something strange. His face has been altered, sometimes altered in different ways. And as I found more examples, they all had that in common. The face from the original image had been replaced, and the original images came from all over the internet. A 19th century portrait posted to Instagram, a poster for a Korean Shakespeare production, a collection of albums by a German singer, a memorial billboard for a businessman in Ghana, and an optical illusion painting by a Ukrainian artist. If these images were indeed a secret signal or a reference to something, I would expect them to have something in common, but they were random from all corners of the internet. The only thing that they seemed to have in common was how they were manipulated. Over the course of researching and reporting and filming these videos, I'm drinking a lot of coffee. I love coffee, but I don't always feel like I have the time for the whole ritual that it takes to make it. That's where Cometeer has been an absolute game changer for me. It's an entirely new way of making coffee, hot, iced, espresso drinks, all within a matter of seconds with no machine. Cometeer brews coffee at 10x the strength and then flash freezes it to lock in the flavor. They source coffee from award-winning roasters like Intelligentsia and Counterculture. I personally love the Mocha Java from Equator Coffees. I love a good dark chocolatey roast coffee. The coffee comes in these recyclable aluminum capsules that are shipped straight to your door, frozen on dry ice. All that you have to do is melt it. For hot coffee, you eject the frozen puck right into your glass, top it with hot water, and boom, you have a fresh cup of brewed coffee. It's springtime, it's getting a little warmer, maybe you want it iced. Just let the capsule thaw and pour it over ice and water. And for an iced latte, add milk and ice first, and then drizzle in the thawed capsule. I'm genuinely a big fan of Cometeer. I've been drinking their stuff since before they reached out to us. The flavor is fresh and balanced, like it came from a really nice cafe, and it's strong with 2 times the caffeine of a regular cup. If you haven't tried it yet, you can go to cometeer.com/Christophe or to the link in the description and get $30 off your first order. Okay, let's get back to the strange final photos taking over Tinder.
But then you get that photo and it's like, what is that?
Yeah, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Like, is that Bach?
As I kept talking to people who had seen these profiles, I heard more theories. Maybe it was all bots.
Part of it makes me think that they are just like bots created by the app itself to increase engagement. The apps only really work if you pay. So they just paint like this fantasy picture to keep you engaged and to keep you spending that $40 or more a month. Even though AI is really good, it's not that great. So there being a random portrait of a Austrian empress thrown in some guy's profile, it's kind of just like, this is AI just like failing.
So you think these profiles are kind of being generated automatically to sort of boost numbers on the platform, but in the process of making those new profiles, they kind of mess some things up?
Yes, I think that is part of it. They hook you in by posting a photo of a guy that's too good to be true because he's not true.
Ronald's theory had a lot going on. Could these be AI-generated profiles created by Tinder to boost engagement, but with a recurring AI malfunction that left a random photo at the very end of the profile? With more reverse image searches, I figured out that these were real people, but not who the profiles claim to be. This isn't Morris in the New York area. It's Andrea, a dentist based in Rome. This isn't Daniel, it's Augusto, a tax lawyer in Brasilia, Brazil. And this isn't Robbie, it's Ümit, a content creator in Izmir, Turkey. So the profiles were clearly impersonating other real people. They weren't AI. But who's behind that impersonation?
What is going on your Tinder?
As I talked to more people who had actually matched with profiles like these, I learned that they typically wanted to move the conversation over to WhatsApp, where after a lot of sentimental banter, they would eventually try to talk to you about cryptocurrency. And if you asked them about the final image on their profile, they would get kind of weird and maybe even block you. And now, an account on a dating app trying to move the conversation over to WhatsApp and then steering that conversation towards cryptocurrency, these are all telltale signs of a romance scam, where criminals use a fake online identity to gain a victim's trust and affection before manipulating or stealing from them. If you want to learn more, the very first video on this channel is a deep dive into this phenomenon. According to the FBI, in 2024, approximately 59,000 people fell victim to romance-related scams in the US, losing over $672 million. Many of these scams operate out of Southeast Asia, where the scammers are victims themselves, recruited by predatory tactics and forced to work brutal labor inside fortified compounds. As I kept looking into this, I started to notice some similarities across all of these profiles. They were always men, always in their late 30s or early 40s, always looking for a long-term relationship. And I realized kind of late into this whole process, they always had this icon. What is that?
Bots and scammers, beware. Tinder has a new feature that helps make sure your next crush is the real deal.
The dating app is rolling out a facial verification feature. It's called Face Check.
Tinder certainly hopes that it's the end of catfishing and scams on their platform.
In October 2025, Tinder rolled out a new feature for US users, Face Check, where you can take a short video selfie within the app to confirm that you match the face in your profile photos. As part of the announcement, Tinder released a compilation of songs from the point of view of heartbroken bots.
Got dumped by Tinder's face check.
Tinder's face check.
Face check. Face check.
Tinder's face check said I wasn't human enough. Well, now I'll never find love.
Face check is a form of what's called liveness detection. That means that it's not just checking to see that your face matches the one in the photos, but also checking for movement to prove that you're actually there and that your selfie video hasn't been digitally altered. It also estimates your age and checks whether your likeness is being used by any other profile. The software behind FaceCheck was created by a company called FaceTech, a facial recognition security company whose clients include various financial services all over the world and the US Department of Homeland Security. According to Tinder's press release, users get a blue photo-verified badge if the scanned face matches a profile photo. Bingo. A profile photo. Not all profile photos, not some profile photos, just a profile photo. What if these profiles were created by someone pretending to be someone else, and this manipulated final photo was their actual face? It's obscured and hidden at the very end, but just identifiable enough to pass FaceCheck, since FaceCheck only needed one profile photo out of 9 to match. On many platforms, a verified badge reassures other people that you are who you say you are. On Tinder, you can even change your settings so that only verified users can send you messages, so bad actors trying to scam or catfish people benefit from having that badge. They'll be seen by more people, and those people will be more likely to trust them. That was my hypothesis. If that was true, it would mean Tinder FaceCheck kind of sucks. It would mean that a scammer can convincingly pretend to be someone else, not with any sophisticated technique, but by slipping in a photo that looks like this at the very end of their profile.
The thing is, like, this is kind of, I have no idea, like, really what's going on here. So, like,
I called up Walter Scher to run my hypothesis by him. Walter is a professor of engineering and the author of A History of Fake Things on the Internet, and he studies the reliability and security of facial verification.
But I sort of am skeptical that, you just need a single photo to match for this to... But it is possible, right? It's not out of the realm of possibility.
I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on how you would reverse engineer this, where I, download Tinder and put a bunch of maybe like AI generated photos of what looks like the same person?
Exactly. Yeah. Just perform your own experiment and see if you can still use the profile, right? Like, yeah. I think that's clearly what I would do as a first step. And then if that works, you kind of have a hint that the face verification is extremely weak. And this probably is a romance scam.
Okay, let's give it a shot. I downloaded Tinder and created a profile imitating the strange profiles we'd seen. I generated AI images of a man in his early 40s and generated an image with my face in the style of this final photo. I look like a hobbit. I uploaded my fake profile photos and my manipulated real one, and then came the moment of truth.
I'm ready.
The photo verification test. As it processed my results, I waited. I went out for lunch, and by the time I came back, I had an update. It worked. My profile was verified.
Okay, the experiment worked. Here's CJ, 31 years old. Boom. I can't believe this worked immediately. I was genuinely expecting this to get flagged, or for it to not work, or for it to have to take a few tries, but it worked immediately. There we go. It's official.
This one photo got my profile verified. If I deleted that photo, I would lose my verified badge on the entire profile. But I wanted to see just how far I could push it. So I kept creating more images of myself to see just how many would pass FaceCheck and get me a verified badge. I tried AI face swaps and messy Photoshop jobs. Create an image, take FaceCheck, and wait, over and over. And every single one got me verified. So, mystery solved. You can get a photo verified account on Tinder while pretending to be someone completely different simply by including one image that kind of looks like you. That's why these profiles look like this. I ran the same experiment on Hinge. Hinge is owned by the same parent company as Tinder and also uses face tech for facial verification. And the result was the same. A single matching image resulted in an entire verified profile. Hinge did appear to have a higher threshold, so it would reject some of the images that Tinder verified. A face tech representative told me that difference could be because Hinge is setting its profile pic matching to a higher sensitivity level than Tinder. Then I ran the same experiment on Bumble. On Bumble, only one image passed the verification test. It was this one. And after verification, every photo that didn't match my face was automatically deleted. So props to Bumble for actually being kind of secure. I reached out to Tinder to let them know what I'd found, but as of publishing this video, I haven't heard back. The core issue is that Tinder only requires one profile photo to match your face in order to get a verified badge. I understand why they might not want to require that every photo pass face check. You might want to include a photo where your face isn't visible or a meme that shows off your personality. But right now, you can create a verified profile using 8 photos of people who are not you and just one that is. And that undermines what this badge is supposed to signal. One possible fix would be giving each photo its own verification marker so that users could see which images actually match the verified face. Maybe that's a UX nightmare, but it would make what is currently an easily exploitable system significantly harder to game.
They implement these tools that are supposed to be like, this, we're keeping you safe. We're helping you make sure that like what's really happening is happening. But now we can't even trust that. If I can't trust that like the verification process is working, then I can't trust any of it really.
Dating apps are a very weird and vulnerable little corner of a very big internet. But across that internet, facial verification tools like this one and other tools that use our biometric data are becoming more and more common. And they come with a big promise that if we hand over deeply personal information about our bodies, we'll get something valuable in return, a system where everyone is who they say they are. But that promise only means something if we can agree on what this technology actually guarantees. Because if we're stuck with an internet where you have to prove who you are without being able to trust that anyone else actually has, that sounds like a bad deal. Hey, thank you so much for watching. This was a really, really fun video to make. The idea for this video came from talking to somebody else, and a lot of my favorite videos that we've made for the channel start that way, with an organic question from somebody else. It gives me a nice, satisfying assignment. And if you have a question that you want to see answered on this show, I want to hear from you over at newpress.com. It's a website I'm helping build with some fellow journalists where you can help our reporting and participate in conversations and really get a sense of the stories that we're working on down the pipeline as they're in progress. It's a great place to see the behind the scenes of how videos like this get made. Okay, I'll see you there.